Constant Forge, Constant Forge. This is the only one that I can't think of an intro to. So here's a song about the life and art of John Cassavetes. Yeah, of all of these, I mean, well, there's not much to say about this anyway. So, hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here with number 256, the final entry in the John Cassavetes 5 Films box. Charles Kissiliak's A Constant Forge, the life and art of John Cassavetes. And yes, 2000, produced in 2000, 200 minutes, color minor, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's just a 3.5 hour long documentary about John Cassavetes. It's like everything you always wanted to know about Cassavetes, but never asked. This is the equivalent of the that like I Lived But documentary that's on the that is on the Ozu, the Yezuru Ozu, was I think Tokyo Story, and that one other documentary about Kurosawa, like the really long ones. This is the one for Cassavetes. We probably had one about Bergman, but I can't remember where. I don't even know if we've gotten to one yet. I'm sure it's floating out there somewhere. A really long ass documentary all about Bergman, But this is so big, so popular, or I don't know if it's so popular, but it's so massive that it requires its own spine number 256. So here you go. So I'm not going to say much about it because it's hard to summarize, a documentary. Basically, it just talks about it. He talks. There's a guy narrating his words, and he talks about his, just the main, like the films up to I think Big Trouble. I think they don't talk about Big Trouble because that was like a main feature one. He didn't like produce it. He just directed it, I think. But there's a little bit about every movie. But most of the focus is on, I guess he doesn't own the rights. I don't think he owns the rights to A Child Is Waiting or well, there were no clips from A Child Is Waiting or Bad News Blues or Bad Room Blues or whatever that name his second film is, and Arminian Moskowitz or whatever. But there's clips from the other 5 and Husbands. There are clips from Husbands as well. And it was a trip to see that movie, and it was like all the memories are flooding back to me. So yeah, like Criterion needs to get on that one. Husbands. Oh boy. I mean, they need to get all. They just need to get all the Criterions. All the Cassavetes. But I think it's just a really they've interviewed just all the important ones. Gina Rollins, Seymour Cassell, Al Rubin, Ben Gazzara, Peter Falk, just all the important peoples. Bo Harwood, who did the music for most of his movies. They just have nothing but really interesting stories to tell. And there's so many I can't I'm not gonna say tell them all. There's one in particular that just totally struck me as trippy. Is Ben Gazzara was talking about the killing of a Chinese bookie, and he says something about as they were coming up to the scene where Cosmo kills the bookie, John began to have this crisis and apparently began to ask everyone there, should I kill this guy? Should I kill him? Please, somebody, shouldn't I? And everybody's like, and Ben is like, look, the movie's called The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, so I guess he was trying to figure out a way to keep the title, but at the same time, change it or something like that, or change it so that the title can still remain, intact or something like that. But it's a trip that he has this humanistic moment where he suddenly doubts himself, because Cassavetes seems like one of those directors who has a vision and but basically is willing to change things. He has certain guidelines and it seems like he gives his characters to these actors, and once he gives it to the actors are basically in charge of them, or they're now the new parents of these ideas or characters. And Cassavetes is just there to see what happens. It seems like that way. That's the way Rowlands seems to describe it. But apart from that, it's just a lot of stories. there's a story they were talking about. Gina was talking about. Well, there was a scene where Cassavetes was, wanted to was trying to wanted to like pretend to slap was pretending to slap Rollins to get like her to cry or something like that, and he wasn't really gonna hit her, so he comes close to her. He comes like within like arm's length of her, like that close, and she claps underneath, and everybody looks, and she falls, I guess, and he like for about a half hour she convinced the whole crew that he hit her, and he's like, you see a mark on her, and so she just let it go, and because they all had a good sense of humor, and that's really fascinating. It's just, I mean, it's to know that even though they were making these really dark films, there was a pure sense of humor, behind the scenes. It wasn't always, these moments of dark, like when they ran out of money or certain scenes, or just scenes weren't coming together and John would get frustrated. Apart from that, yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the documentary. It's a fantastic work. It tells a lot about him. I'm gonna give it an A, just because it does what it does. It tells you everything about John Cassavetes. Apart from that, special features. There's some biographical sketches of some of the frequent cast members who weren't in the documentary. And there's a bunch of different posters for the films, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, Constant Forge A. I just wanted to wrap up this whole John Cassavetes Fun Festapalooza thing. Just give it a couple words. My feelings on Cassavetes. From what I've seen, Cassavetes is a fantastic director. He can be frustrating to work with, but at the same time, his movies will make you think. And if that's the case, I mean, you can't brush off these movies as just drivel. Some of them can be hard to watch if you don't have the patience for them. I definitely need to rewatch some of these. I need to rewatch Opening Night. I feel like the others I got, the Faces I need to rewatch again. I think there's a lot of Faces I missed. Shadows I got, but I'd love to see it again. I mean, I want to see them all again, but Shadows I got for the most part. There's a few items that would require some rewatching. Faces, I probably need to rewatch that again. A Woman of the Influence, I bait that was probably the easiest to get, Killing of a Chinese Bookie, for the most part, made perfect sense, I just want to rewatch it to compare and contrast the two versions of the movie, the original version and the re-release. Opening Night is the one that definitely needs another viewpoint, because I missed a lot. For instance, I think in my review I mentioned that the girl that Myrtle attacks is the dead girl, but apparently it's supposed to be her at a young age. So I apologize, I missed that. I mean, at one point I thought it was her at a young age, and she was like battling her, her inner self. But at the same time, I confused myself because you don't really get a good shot of the girl that was killed at the beginning of the movie. So, my brain just started telling me, hey, wasn't that was the dead girl? Like, it made sense, coming back to haunt her, but at the same time, it also didn't make sense, like, why she's so mean to Myrtle, It's like, but I guess if Myrtle is like envisioning this girl, then she can basically, Myrtle in a sense has the ability to say, to make her say whatever she wants, unless there are forces beyond our powers at work, So anyway, but back to Cassavetes. His movies I really enjoy his movies, even though some of them, they can go on pretty long, but in the end, I think there is a satisfaction from watching these characters, trying to figure out these characters, even if a lot of it is just, improvisation and very free. So it's hard to grasp onto characters that aren't, extremely scripted, although a lot of his films are scripted. There's a lot of scripted. I think I think Shadows is probably the one that was the most improvised. I mean, even though at the end it says this is a complete work of improvisation, I know that a lot of it was scripted. Um, but yeah, so Cassavetes, I mean, he seems like a really nice, I mean, a nice guy in the end. If you were his friend, like he's like your best friend. Um, at the same time, he does have a vision and art, and he will tell you if something's working or something isn't. And I can see why that might make him difficult to work with. But in the end, he made some really fantastic movies. Um, I mean, he's made. I mean, like just every time I put one of these DVDs in and I hit play, it's like you hold your breath because you don't know. I don't know what I'm going to see first. I don't know what's going to happen. What the first thing I'm going to see on the screen is. And it's that kind of anticipation that like makes his movies great. I don't think I've gotten that out of any other director. I mean, Kurosawa was like the only other director that I just really love, but he always has credits that I can't read. But Cassavetes, sometimes you don't always get the credits first. Sometimes you have to wait a little while, and there's a lot of that there. You have to, so you don't know what you're going to see first. Well, for the most part, with Kurosawa, you got the credits, and then you get the movie. You get all the movie, and then until the end. But with Cassavetes, it was just a whole other thing. And some of that was because Japanese films are produced differently than American films. But at the same time, it's just still they could have gone hand in hand. So yeah, Cassavetes, man. I mean, I still want this set. It's bloody fantastic, and I don't know. Maybe I mean of the five we've seen, I think probably Shadows was still my favorite, just because of just how old it is, and just how independent it feels, the amateur feel of it. I just love it, and I want to see the others. I definitely want to see all of his other films. I mean, there's only a few others that aren't in the Criterion. There's like I said, Too Late Blues or whatever that is. Child is Waiting, Minnie and Moskowitz, Gloria, and Big Trouble. Love Streams, like I said, I think is number 734, so we'll get to that one eventually. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say. Cassavetes, fantastic director, maybe my favorite. I mean, because it's funny because I was watching an interview with him on YouTube, like right after I did my the opening night review earlier today, and if you look at it, you can look it up. It's John Cassavetes' Television Sucks, and it's just a really trippy. He just talks about, it's right after opening night, and he talks about how he wants everybody to see it, and he just turns into this rant where he basically considers people sheepish or sissy. The town is Hollywood is sissy, and culminating in this just culminating in the phrase "television sucks," and everybody just starts laughing, and it's like, huh. Suddenly I just like, I don't know, just what he was saying or the way he was saying it, but it got to me, So yeah, I kind of wish that had been in one of the supplements, Easter egg or something. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. I actually looked up Criterion Easter eggs after finding that hidden trailer in Killing of a Chinese Bookie. There are a lot of Easter eggs I've missed, and that kind of pisses me off. Because, I mean, that doesn't make sense. That's not something that, I don't know, it just seems a little childish, a little amateurish of Criterion to hide things from the viewer, Especially considering that this is supposed to be some, like, this big art house company, It's like, Easter eggs seem like they're, supposed to be something that, a big, a big company would do for, like, cheap thrills or something like that. But apparently, some of the things that are on the Easter eggs are things that are important, like the trailer. It's like, why would you hide the trailer from the viewing audience? When you put the trailer, point blank, out in the open for all the other movies, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's kind of childish, cheap for Criterion to do Easter eggs, and now I have to go back and look for all the Easter eggs. But yeah. So anyway, that's all I got to say about Cassavetes. I think he might be my new favorite director. Though I mean, although I've said some, he's hard to watch sometimes, but his movies are really really amazing. I still think he might be the most amazing director. They might be the greatest films we've seen this season. Although I mean I don't know, we've seen some. I can't even remember the movies now because it's all about Ben Cassavetes for a week now, or almost a week now. So it's hard to think of anything else right now. So Cassavetes, man. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed my review of the John Cassavetes box set. I know a few of you were looking forward to this, and I hope I didn't let you down with my opinions. And yes, yeah, that's all I can say. If you haven't seen his movies, get the Blu-ray set, get the Blu-ray John Cassavetes 5 film set, because I definitely will be in the near future. And yeah, that's it for me today. And I don't have any other the DVDs to show you, so I'm just gonna show you Air. Like I said, so our next review will hopefully be on Thursday. Secret Honor, Robert Altman's Secret Honor, and then New Year's will be Robert Altman's Tanner 88, which will be the new movie of the first movie of the year. And then Thursday I'll actually, I may already actually. I'm looking at my money, and I actually think I can. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off Fat Girl. I'm gonna go ahead and get Fat Girl because I don't know. I think I may still wait until Thursday though, because I may need the money for something else between here and now. So Fat Girl I'll probably order Thursday, and then Eyes Without a Face. Like I said, I'm not sure at this point. I'm going to try to get my friend to do it with me, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. Of course, I probably need to bug him about it. And, so Eyes Without a Face, and then Fanny and Alexander. And then, Fanny and Alexander hopefully will be all, or most to all of next week. Next week. Because, there's Fanny and Alexander, the theatrical the original version, or the television series, the theatrical version, and then the making of. All three are each one, so we'll take our time with that one. And I hope that's the last time we have to take our time with a Bergman movie. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Although I've looked at the past. Bergman's track record with me doesn't, especially with long ass ones. Although Scenes from Marriage was long, I kind of like that one. I liked it so much I bought it. So. Maybe there's something to his longer movies, I mean, some of that is Liv Ullmann, too. Some of that one was Liv Ullmann. I don't think Liv Ullmann is in Fanny and Alexander. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. John Cassavetes is sorely missed, and kind of wish he was here today so he could, sort out all the bullshit that's in Hollywood right now. And just keep making it. Just want to know what his movies would look like today, in today's Hollywood. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Thursday, fingers crossed, for Secret Honor. And until then, goodbye.